Director, the first time you saw Donald Trump's name was in the Epstein files. Did you close the files or keep reading?
So Cashy, the director of FBI, whose picture looked like Trump has him by the balls, true story, got grilled. Not grilled, I've seen grilled. This is next level barbecue. He got barbecued before the House of Committee when he was asked about the Epstein shit, and he started crashing out.
Director, the first time you saw Donald Trump's name was in the Epstein files. Did you close the files or keep reading?
I have reviewed not the entirety of the files, so
you haven't reviewed all of the Epstein files?
Personally, no.
You're the director of the FBI. This is the largest sex trafficking case the FBI has ever been a part of. Buck stops at the top, and your testimony today is you have not reviewed all of the files.
What I've been doing is been busy providing the safest country this country has seen in modern U.S. history in historic speed, because the men and women of the FBI are given the resources to reduce the homicide rate, to reduce the drug trafficking rate, to reduce the amount of children that are being trafficked, and the number of pedophiles.
It sounds like those children being trafficked would appreciate the director reviewing the files.
So the director of FBI has the Epstein Black Book. We'll get to that in a second, where all the client lists are there. Now, he asked, hey, yo, did you see Trump's name and you saw it? You're like, you close it. I didn't see shit. I promise. And Cashy's response was, I didn't really review all of it, so I couldn't tell you. But did I tell you about all the PDF files we've arrested, how we made this country a better place? Only when it comes to non-top officials, we will investigate. But when it comes to the top officials, I didn't see shit. Who are you lying to, Cashy? Does it say donkey over here? Now that I think about it, it might come out as racist, but that wasn't my intention. It was like, does it say donkey over here, Cashy? We all know that you saw Donald Trump's name in the Epstein list, and now you're like redirecting it. Technically, what Cashy said over here was, we capture all pedophiles, but not all of them, because we can't catch all of them, even though some of them are right in front of us. But we still catch a lot of PDF files. So be thankful, you donkeys. Be thankful.
You said you don't know the number of times Trump's name appears in the files, so it could at least be 1,000 times. Is that right?
The number is a total misleading factor. We have not released anyone's name in the Epstein files that has not been credible.
Director, could it at least be 1,000 times?
We have released every piece of legally permissible information. Okay, you can characterize the numbers however you want it.
You're claiming my time, Director. It sounds like if you don't know the number, it could at least be 1,000 times.
It's not. It's not.
Is it at least 500 times?
No.
Is it at least 100 times?
No.
Then what's the number?
I don't know the number, but it's not that.
Do you think it might be your job to know the number?
My job is to provide for the safety and security of this country. My job is not to engage in political innuendo so you can go out to the sticks and get your 20-second hit in your fundraising article.
Director,
keep going, reclaiming your time, because the people of California are being underserved by your representation.
If the president is not implicated, why not release everything that involves him?
We have released everything, the president and anyone else's side, that is credible and lawfully be able to be released.
Now, for some context, Cash for the past 2 days has been answering questions about everything. One of the biggest ones, including the Epstein list, why you're not actually releasing the client list. And he keeps on saying that the courts denied it, which apparently they didn't. We'll get to that in a sec. But he keeps on saying we need to verify. We need to see which one is actually true, what happened or not. Now, if the names are in the black book of Epstein, why would Epstein put the names in the black book? So if a top official or a billionaire, or in this case, president of the United States, is in that black book, we need to make sure if he only had lunch with him or he was bombing people underage with him as well. It's called a black book. Why would Epstein put the name of the people he had lunch with on his black book? On Thursday, 2009, I had lunch with Donald Trump. We had steak with a little bit of vegetables. I had fun. Full stop. Why would he put the names there? He put the names for a reason.
Your fixation on this matter and baseless accusations that I'm hiding child pedophiles is disgusting.
No, Cashy, you know what's disgusting? You claiming that you're protecting everyone, saying that you brought a lot of people to justice, but when it comes to actually holding people responsible and looking for credibility, when victims literally gave you names. Yes, the victims actually gave them names, which we're gonna get to the clip in a second, but they decided to go on and say, oh, I'm blind in my left eye, on my right eye, we don't really see well. So with that said, it is not credible. That's why we say there's no third parties involved.
Anyone that says that needs to look at the stats alone and go back to the state of California, who's receiving the biggest surge in FBI resources through my redeployment because the cities of Los Angeles, San Diego, and San Francisco
Reclaiming my time,
need it.
Director, remembering your oath to tell the truth, did you ever tell Donald Trump his name is in the files?
I have never spoken to President Trump about the Epstein files.
Did you ever tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
The Attorney General and I have had numerous discussions about the entirety of the Epstein files and the reviews conducted by our team.
Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files?
And we have released where President Trump's name is in the
It's a simple
attorney's
question.
file.
Did you tell the Attorney General that the President's name is in the Epstein files?
During many conversations that the Attorney General and I have had on the matter of Epstein, we have reviewed.
The question is
painstakingly
simple.
Who
Did you
can
tell
be-
the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files? Yes or no?
Why don't you try spelling it out if
Yes
you're
or
going to mock
no,
me?
Director?
Use the alphabet.
Yes or no?
No? A, B, C,
Director,
D, E, F?
it
Don't
sounds
wanna
like
do
you
it?
don't want to tell us. Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name was in the Epstein files?
Why don't you try serving your
Director,
constituency
did
by
you tell the
focusing on
Attorney
reducing
General
violent
that Donald
crime in this
Trump's name-
country and the number of pedophiles that are
Director,
legally
reclaiming
harbored
my time,
in your
Director.
sanctuary cities in
Director,
California?
reclaiming
I'll
my
work with
time.
you on that. Do
Regular
you wanna
order, Mr.
work with us
Chairman.
on that?
Director,
I'm
reclaiming my
Belongs, a
time.
gentleman from California.
Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files? Yes or
Question
no?
has been asked and answered.
You've not answered it, and we will take your evasiveness as a consciousness of guilt.
Kashi, you're under oath. His defense in this case is, oh, I haven't reviewed all of it, so he doesn't get caught lying during an oath. So he just admitted there is actually an Epstein list. What he's saying right now is there is an Epstein list, but what about that statement that, the FBI and the Department of Justice gave out saying, hey, no third party was involved. So you guys all verified all the people on that list. So there is a list. That's what they're saying. But they don't know if they were involved in this or not. They don't know. They're trying to make sure who had lunch, who just went for a massage with him, who shakalaka boom boom, who didn't. Apparently no one did. All the people that Epstein was hanging out, he was just writing down his besties' names on a black book. Because that's, that's what every BFF do for each other. I'm sure you even write your best friend's names who you had lunch with on a black book. A black book.
Did Donald Trump ever say to you, just find and release the entire truth? Don't worry if I'm in it?
The instructions from the administration were to release all credible information, and we have done that.
So the administration said anything credible, release it to the public. Except, obviously, the president of the United States, doesn't matter credible or not, the besties, the billionaires, the people who are funding this whole thing, just make sure you leave those names out. Oh, so you can't release any name? All of them are our besties? Well, I guess just tell them, hey, there's no list, right? He knows it. I know it. The person who's not even watching this video knows it. That the administration doesn't care if it is credible or not. They just don't want to release the names of the people involved because it's going to be a whole shit show. This is good, though. This is good. He's getting barbecued. He's getting grilled over here. And he's sometimes even answering without thinking, and the questions was perfect from this guy over here sitting. He made sure to press every Cash's buttons from left and right, and Cash with his responses, it's just way too obvious.
Donald Trump has not been, and I can only speak for the FBI, an informant of the FBI.
So, Director, you've played this cute shell game where you say you can't release everything because the court has said that it legally is not allowed to be released, but the court calls bullshit. Judge Richard Berman said that when you went to the court, quote, information contained in the Epstein grand jury transcripts pales in comparison to Epstein investigation information and materials in the hands of the Department of Justice.
Does Cash needs to keep reminding you that we have all the list, but we do not know who's credible and who's not. We don't want to throw the wrong person under the bus, not because our funds will be stopped and the whole system will go to shit and, half the people will get arrested. Well, not half, I might be exaggerating, but a lot of people will get arrested. He blamed it on the court, saying 3 federal courts denied for us to release the actual list, and now this guy calls bullshit. I don't know how true it is, but he's saying that's bullshit. You guys have the whole thing. You just choose not to release it. One name. Kashi, one name. Just one. At least throw some people under the bus. You can't save everyone. Half of the people, it's like Titanic. You have to sacrifice a few to save a few. At least sacrifice a couple of them. All of them need to be held accountable in this case, but they're not. None of them want to, like, I imagine they all gathered up, like, hey guys, the shit we did 20 years ago, pretty fucked up. Like, now I regret it, because obviously there's a lot of tension to it as well right now. All right. Hands up, whoever wants to throw themselves under the bus so they can save the whole group. Guys, come on. How long we've been friends for? At least one of you sacrifice so we can be like, we got you. We'll make sure to, pay your family millions and billions of dollars, and we'll make sure. No one still? You donkeys? No? Oh, you're already rich. Now, obviously, they're not going to do that. No one's going to go under the bus, because if it does, then it's going to go back on the names of the things that the FBI and DOJ said that, hey, there is no third party. And if a third party just, jump scares everyone out of nowhere, what the fuck? Everyone's going to start asking questions, and everyone even want more. So they have to go forward with what they're saying right now and trying to protect it. And literally just shifting it all. Like, why do you care about a bunch of billionaires? Care about the non-billionaires who we caught. Why are you not giving credit to them? But the House didn't stop there. They brought receipts from 2023, 2024, before Kash was, became the director of FBI. He was a whole different person. I won't spoil it for you. I'll let you rewatch it if you watched it before.
Refresh your memory with this clip.
It has Epstein's list. They're sitting on it. That doesn't seem like something you should do. You're protecting the world's foremost predator. That seems like an evil thing to do, regardless of who may be embarrassed in the release of that list. Why is the FBI protecting the greatest, the largest scale in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list.
So you finished that December 2023 interview with a challenge to the FBI and harsh words for Republicans in Congress for not getting the Epstein files out to the public. You can see this clip.
Boy pants, and let us know who the files are.
Put on your big boy pants and let us know who the pedophiles are, you said.
This was like an intervention between friends when the other one got like super fucking drunk, and they brought a whole video of it, and now they're like going over it one by one, and Kash is just sitting like, that's not me.
You emphasized that the president and FBI director each had complete authority to release Epstein's client list. You said Epstein's black book is under the, quote, direct control of the director of the FBI. Look at this clip.
This is way off the topic, but who has Jeffrey Epstein's
Black book?
black book?
FBI.
But who? That is, I mean, there's...
that's under direct control of the director of the FBI.
All right, so you were sworn in as director more than 200 days ago. Now the black book is under your direct control. So why haven't you released the names of Epstein's co-conspirators in the rape and sex trafficking of young women and girls?
The Rolodex, which is what everybody colloquially refers to as the black book, has been released.
Oh, no, you're talking about what the journalist got 5 years ago? No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about what you were talking about there,
That's
the black
exactly
book
what I
under
was
the direct control of the FBI director.
We have released more material than anyone else before. The Biden administration, Obama administration had the exact opportunities to release this material, and they never did. And if you are selling the men and women of the FBI,
Why
we're
have
not
you
going after
changed your
child
position?
predators. Hang on, you said we're not going after child predators.
Hey, did Kash tell you yet how many predators he's caught? Not on the Epstein list, because, it doesn't exist. I didn't go through them. I don't know, but not credible, apparently hundreds of people, if not. Did Kash tell you that, he saved a lot of people?
1,500 child predators arrested this year, 35%
Okay,
increase,
I'll reclaim my time.
4,700 child victims
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to
found.
reclaim my time if you could instruct the witness. Why have you changed your position? There you were saying it's under the direct control of the FBI director and all of it should be released. Why have you changed your
Everything
position?
that has been lawfully permitted to be released has been released. And as I told you,
Kash, you would have sounded better if you would have said that, hey, I talked all that shit, because I was just talking shit. I was just yapping. I don't really know how it felt to be the director of FBI, But now I do know how it feels. They don't let me do shit. They control everything I do. They tell me what to say. Oh, sorry. No, I mean, see, we released it, but none of them were credible. So in that case, no third party was involved in this whole thing. But did I tell you how many other people I've caught? Jesus Christ, Cash. What are you doing? Every time this question is asked, he just puts his head down. I haven't seen all the list, none of that. Credible. We have to see which one we can lawfully release, meaning you have to take permission from the people who are actually in the list. Hey, do you mind? Question mark. And over here he's gonna ask him that, hey, I don't think that you need to ask the federal, federal judge for them to give you permission to actually release the Epstein files. You can release it yourself without getting a third party involved in this whole thing, because you have the files. Why not release it to public? Which makes sense.
This is the investigation we were given from 2006, 7, and 8, and the search warrants from 2006, 7, and 8. That's what we're working with.
Well, wait, have you released all of the stuff that the FBI has seized from Epstein's house? The computers, the emails, the file cabinets, the documents? What about the financial records? Have you released all of that?
Everything the court has allowed us to
Which
release.
court are you talking about?
3 separate federal courts have come in and said...
We're talking about the evidence you've got. It's got nothing to do with what those courts have.
Do you have any idea how the law works?
Wait.
Do you want me to break the law in a federal judge's order?
No, I want you to follow your own
curiosity?
word, Director Patel. You said up there it was under the direct control of the FBI director. He had the black book.
Everything I have direct control over, we have gone to court. You haven't.
Complete your sentence. Everything you have direct control over, you said.
Have gone to court, and everything we have direct control over.
Complete your sentence. You said everything.
Release. We're releasing.
Now, I'm not gonna sit over here and pretend like I know how this law over here works. If they have all the evidence, they have the black book, they need the permission from mommy and daddy to release it, or they can just release it themselves, which I think Cash is a big boy over here. He has all the evidence, and the people have the right for the names to get released. They don't need, he's an adult, they don't need mommy and daddy's permission, which this is what doesn't make sense to me, but Cash obviously is going back and forth saying, this is the law, they have to say so. And the last guy was saying, well, this federal judge actually allowed and, gave you all these things, the permission to the, Department of Justice, but none of you released it. Obviously, Cash is going to go back and forth and say, credible. Maybe they were just having lunch. Maybe they were just playing tennis together and Epstein was so excited and, he wrote their name on the black book.
You began the sentence, everything you have direct control over, and then you stopped that sentence. You've released everything that you have direct control over?
And I have direct control over and can lawfully release. If you're not familiar with the court orders, that's not my fault.
Oh, I'm
Go
perfectly,
look at them.
I'm perfectly familiar
court.
with them. But how did we prosecute Ghislaine Maxwell?
She was prosecuted with the investigatory material that was collected from 2001 and 2005. Because of the non-prosecution agreements and the court orders on the investigations and search warrants, we were not able to develop new information. And oh, by the way, Jeffrey Epstein was out for 12 years, and the Obama and Biden administration did nothing to look at his work, his file network.
You guys literally did the same thing. You said you're gonna release the files. You gave the middle finger when the time came. So don't sit there and compare to the other administrations, because we all know that you only use this excuse to get elected for the president and for you to get elected to be the director of FBI, but you didn't do shit. Nothing. No, there's no justice being served whatsoever.
If you want to blame me, that's fine. But now you're blaming the men and women who conducted this great search.
Stop that. I'm not blaming anybody other than you. You're not keeping your word. You said that you would release all of the materials under your direct control.
Has anyone released more information on Epstein than I have? Has anyone?
Much more.
Did Comey? Did Ray?
Much more.
Did they?
Excuse me. Much more has come out in the days since the American people in Congress have been demanding it, but it's coming out in dribs and drabs. Why don't you just release the entire file as you promised to do?
I literally just told you there are multiple federal court orders. I'm not going to break the law to satisfy.
So long story short, the host and the co-host of the house party got arrested, and the guests who were there, they all ran away. The police just got the first 2, and the rest are just in the wind right now. I mean, look, with the justice system right now, how Diddy got away, how, everyone else is getting away, I think you have a good chance, even if they get released, the names, and they get prosecuted, there's a very high chance, even if they actually did it, they didn't only have lunch with Epstein, they can get away with it. So, why go back and forth with it? I think this is what's going to happen the second the list comes out. And I do believe the list is going to come out because people are actually pushing for it. And it's going to be a very embarrassing day for the United States because of how many people are going to get shut off with accusation and allegations. I know this video is getting too long, but a lot of interesting shit happened. The House also came forward and said that the victims actually gave 20 men, 20 names who were tied to this whole ring. But the FBI is just sitting on it, not doing shit, making sure it is credible. We can't believe the victims' names because the names that they drop, because they can be just naming anyone. How do we know this person was actually there? Oh, you saw it? Where's your proof? How can we make sure of this? Or just because you're the victim?
You replied, according to the transcript, there is no credible information that he trafficked them to anyone else. According to victims who cooperated with the FBI in that investigation, these documents in FBI possession, your possession, detail at least 20 men, including Mr. Jess Staley, CEO of Barclays Bank, who Jeffrey Epstein trafficked victims to. That list also includes at least 19 other individuals, one Hollywood producer worth a few $100 million, one royal prince, one high-profile individual in the music industry, one very prominent banker, one high-profile government official, one high-profile former politician, one owner of a car company in Italy, one rock star, one magician, at least 6 billionaires, including a billionaire from Canada.
So long story short, there is an Epstein list, but there is no credible information that they actually did it. Yeah, I'm sure Epstein was just chilling and having everyone for himself. He definitely didn't like to share it with his friends, his disgusting behaviors, and it was just all by himself. Whereas Epstein, so he can snitch on others and actually verify this and actually make these names credible? Well, oopsies. Well, Epstein was too weak and he took his own life. He just felt too guilty because he had all the children all for himself. Just too much guilt he couldn't live with. Yeah, this is where we're at right now. I believe it's going to come out. I do believe just patience is the key. We're going to talk about different things. And one day you're going to see a video. Epstein list is out. Fucking hell. It's going to be a crazy day. I think I'm very happy again. Like everyone is pushing forward with this. And they're, making sure justice is going to be served. It just takes one person to just snitch and release the names. Kashi was also asked by the House, have you viewed the names given by the victims in the Epstein, from the Epstein situation? Kashi replied no.
And so have you reviewed those 302 documents where the victims name the people who victimized them?
If I personally know, but the FBI has.
So how can you sit here and in front of the Senate and say there are no names?
I said,
I named one today.
I said, we are not in the practice at the Department of Justice FBI of releasing victims' names. That is not what we do. We are also not in the habit of releasing incredible information. That's not what we do.
It's never been more obvious than before. There is a client list. The victims gave the names, so they're just sitting on it. There is no, there's no list. There is actually a list, but they are just making sure it is credible. Stay tuned for the credibility for the next 300 years. Maybe in 300 years they will actually find it to be credible or not. But as of now, I think they already verified by saying there's no third party involved when they gave this statement out a couple of the joint statement a couple of months ago. They're getting pushed right now to actually get to know the people inside that list. The House knows around 20 of those names, and they confronted Kashi over here on, hey, why don't you investigate these things? Are they going to find out if they're credible or not? Are they involved or not? Well, stay tuned for the next 300 years. Maybe in 300 years they'll release it. This is from Kash side. The only way we can find these people inside that list is from a whistleblower who doesn't give a shit about his life or her life anymore, and they want to see justice being served. And they're going to release this whole thing. Anyways, just wanted to share these with you. Crazy stuff. Crazy update from the Epstein list, I think. This video is getting way too long. Okay, No outro. More videos. Like, subscribe. Okay, bye.